as well as like making her own decisions by moving out of her house and then finding jobs on her own. She can get a job pretty quick, like wherever she goes. And she's just a really hard worker. I've noticed also how she's like really focused on herself and her future, which is really great to see.
That's awesome. And how was she? What did you recognize in her before she was getting coached? What was the confidence level like to go out, leave home, get a job? How was she making decisions before coaching?
Mm, I feel like she was just attached to being just home, and she was too scared to be out there in the world.
Yeah.
She just didn't know what to expect really if she moved out, or how to like live off of her own.
Definitely. Well, that's cool, man. Gives me a bit of context. So, how these consultancy sessions usually work? I give the first one free, and then you can get a really good idea of what I offer in the coaching program, and I'll take you
Mm-hmm.
through. I'll learn a bit about you, so you can feel like I know you, and I can see if it's a good fit for you. You can learn a bit more
Mm-hmm.
about me, so you're comfortable with who I am, and then we'll just go from there. How's it sound?
Sounds good.
So, do you want me to start with myself, maybe fill you in a bit more about me, and then I'll hear a bit more about you? How does that sound?
Yeah, that's good.
So tell me, what do you know about me so far?
Uh, well, not much really.
Yeah. So I'm from New Zealand. I don't know if you've heard of that country, but it's
Yeah.
it's way on the other side of the world as the US. I've traveled the world, 40 different countries. Grew up with three older brothers. We call us Kiwis in New Zealand. I'm a lover of sports, so hard out into my sports. Grew up, got into the Seven Habits when I was young. I wasn't naturally academic at school, so I didn't like love studying science and all the books. I had to have a reason to study, and most of the times I just did my own thing until I got motivated. And what motivated me was personal development, was discovering the best of who I am and then turning up every day and loving to get the best out of myself and then finding my life purpose. And that was massive for me to discover that when I did. And then also, I had a huge desire to get financial control early in my life. So I retired when I was 30, had the ability to retire, and then chose to go back into work after about a year of hitting the world and partying and realizing that, life's not all about just having a free ride. So, that's a little bit about me. Love adventure, love travel, but love helping people, love working with people. And that's kind of what helps juice me as well, seeing people growth, seeing what the stumbling blocks are in people's lives and helping them overcome. And I'm excited to see that in so many people that I've worked with. So yeah, any questions about me, anything that you want to know a bit more?
Um, mm, I've seen you in one of Antonio Viola's video, I think, on
Oh,
YouTube.
right. Yeah. What did you see?
Yeah. Okay, okay.
What did you see on that
Uh,
video?
the what?
What did you see on that video?
Oh, I think you guys mentioned something about like psychedelics, or I don't
Oh
remember.
yeah. Well, like I say, man, I've been traveling all around the world, so I've had some pretty whack experiences, dude. Well, I can go into them at some stage with you, but let's just say I've pretty much tried the full array of different psychedelics, and yeah, I've been to some pretty out of their places.
Damn.
So yeah, dude, like I can definitely fill you in on that down the track if you want to know more about that. um, okay, well, no, you've told me a little bit about you now, and stuff. So, what sort of family you come from? Like, sounds like you're running your own business. You're quite ambitious. Did you grow up? Was it quite easy academically, or did you find like it was tough? Were you more naturally, obviously, sporting gifted? You're very physically gifted. So, where did you sort of lean towards growing up? And tell me a bit more about who you are.
Well, growing up, uh, academically it was pretty easy. I mean, just regular student in school, always getting A, B, or C, just passing classes. And then I think it was when I was like in 6 years old, I started playing soccer, and ever since I was always just in sports. And then I think it was till my high school year, I had to decide to either keep playing soccer or start running cross country for high school. and I just dropped soccer, and then I just started running, and then I got a scholarship for UTPB here in Odessa. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I was raised with my dad, by my dad and my mom, and just really hardworking people. I've always grew around work, so I really know. I work in landscape and cement. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome, dude. Well, I'm just stoked, like, got to know a bit about you. So what we'll do now is I'm going to share my screen with you. And have you got like a pen and a paper you can get access to there?
Yeah, I have it here.
So we're going to go through the consultancy with you, and then we'll unpack what this is all about. But you can see it on your screen, all right?
Yes.
All right. So here's our outcome today. Number one, we're going to identify your current level of results. We're going to identify the motivation for the most important areas of your life. And we're going to identify the area that you're most excited to improve. And we're going to showcase what's actually possible with Ignite Coaching, right? So the fact is that, instead of trying to focus on every aspect of your life, Ignite's about mastering one area, gaining mastery, putting that on autopilot. So you're always going to get the best results, and then carrying on to the next area, mastering that. That's kind of how the system works. So it's exciting. It's exciting because you get to work with a coach. It's exciting because you understand more about yourself, and exciting because you're going to have real life goals that you can achieve every single week. And it's going to put you into a new stratosphere, kind of like what, Antonio and Violet and many people have experienced since they've been doing the coaching. So that's how we sort of do it. If I can just get you to read this quote out, please.
Excuse me?
Are you able just to read the quote out, please?
Oh. Sow I thought, reap and act, sow and act, reap and habit. Sow a habit, reap a character, sow a character and reap a destiny. Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Perfect. So what do you make of that quote?
So just basically turn your thoughts into actions and actions into habits to build your character for your destiny, I guess.
100%, man. 100%. So you sort of see that your thoughts shape everything. What you put into your mind, you end up become the thing you dwell on the most. So, for example, have you had times where you've dreamed about like cross country and competing and performing and doing your best?
Yeah.
And what were your actions the next day when you started visualizing that?
You actually go out there and perform it once you have that good mindset.
Exactly, man. And tell me the opposite. Have you had times where you got down the dumps and you were focusing on something else, like performing badly, or you just had the motivation? Have you gone through that experience before?
Yeah, definitely. When your mind is just not focused in the race and you're just focused on something else or something negative that will like bring you down, like you just perform really, really poorly sometimes.
What would it be like for you if you could have the control of how to access your motivation at any night, any day that you needed to?
That'd be great. I wouldn't be as nervous for a cross country race. I'll just be
Well,
be ready.
we're going to teach you the whole control panel on this course, man. And we've got so many tricks and toolbooks, but we're teach you the fundamentals and the bigger stuff. So let's carry on. Now I'm going to read this quote out for you. I want you to really think about this and give me an answer of what you think this means. If you don't understand the word, let me know and explain the word to you. A consistent man believes in destiny, a capricious man in chance.
What's capricious?
Good question. So capricious means depending on luck or chance for your success.
Mm. I mean, I think it's basically saying like it's better to be consistent than roll the dice and just hope to have a good destiny. I guess it's just better to be consistent.
Yeah, 100%, man. Because if you're capricious, you're always going to depend on the outside world to tell you whether you're going to be successful or not. See, a fighter that goes into a fight might be capricious by going, you know what? I'm not really going to train. I'm just going to hope for the best. I'm going to hope that he throws a bad punch and then I counter him like this. If they're depending on chance for the success. Or a runner, your runner might think, you know what, I can't be bothered eating properly tonight. I can't be bothered putting the extra hour training this week. I'm just going to take it easy and just hope that they don't show up on the day. I hope I get a tailwind. Have you come across runners like that?
Yeah.
Right.
They
That's
just hope too much, but
yeah. Now, how common do you think that attitude is in the world?
very common.
Exactly. And in the times you've done that in your own life, have you achieved good results, generally speaking?
No.
Right. So what is that? And at the times that you haven't left anything to chance and you've done the best you can, what kind of results have you achieved on those occasions?
Just I think yeah, some of the best results just by being consistent.
And even above and beyond the results, you see the best result in your heart, which is the satisfaction knowing you've done the best you can, and that brings peace of mind, right?
Yeah.
Most people don't want to face that, but one of the keys answer to happiness is knowing that you've done the best you can in the expertise, the craft that you love the best. And Ignite's all about finding your number one thing that you love, and everything else you do 80-20, right? So I'm going to teach you that principle. Okay, so the 3 areas of focus we're going to look at for you is number one, we're going to look at the results you're currently producing. We'll look at the desire that you have, and we'll look at the behavior that you're using currently towards your results. All right, so let's start off with the results. And these are the major areas of life. Now, if you need to, did you want to write that down?
Yeah. All right, there.
All right, good man. So these are the major areas of life. Now, I'll probably add in a couple more as time goes, but generally speaking, we're going to look at these areas. So we've got the physical, which is your outer shell of who you are as a human, your emotional, your inner experience, your career, what you do as your passion, your finances, how to create stability in your life, relationships, the reason we exist, time management, how you allocate your time, and then mental, what you put in your mind. How does that sound?
Sounds really good.
So what I want you to do is just want you to just do up a wee graph like this. It doesn't have to be perfect, but this is how we're going to allocate what we're going to look at. We're about to take a look at all your life areas, and we're going to find out the current results you're getting. We're going to look at the current desire that you have, and then we're going to look at the behavior that you're taking in order to achieve the results that you're currently getting. We're going to showcase what's possible. All good?
Yeah.
Okay. So what results are you currently producing in the most important areas of your life? What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk through each area, and then I just want you to give you, in the category of results, I just want you to put an overall ranking out of 10 for what it is. So it's going to be on a scale. So 0 is going to be really bad, and 10 is going to be A+, like the best you can imagine, right? So physically, on a scale of no energy, like in the ground, to 10 out of 10 be exploding energy, where are you out of 10? Fit and healthy on the extreme, or tired and lazy? Always feeling fatigued on the 0 end, or feeling positively proactive with your life? Feeling tight and stiff, or feeling flexible and supple? Now I want you to give your ranking overall out of 10 now. Let's just write that down. Okay, emotional, angry all the time, negative emotions, or happy most of the time? Stressed, frustration, and no peace, or no stress? No momentum or full momentum in your life? Depressed versus excited about your life? Frustrated versus focused? Give yourself a ranking out of 10 for emotion. Okay, career. You've got no purpose, no reason to get out of bed versus total purpose. You've got the scarcity mentality versus the abundant mentality. You've got lack of motivation versus focused. You've got no direction and confused versus direction and clear vision. You've got now, so give you a ranking there. Finances, in debt and never getting ahead to financially healthy. Never having enough versus overflowing abundance. Changing your mind halfway through a project versus well planned out and thought out. Being stingy versus the ability to be generous. Where would you be on that scale of 0 to 10? Okay, relationships. Strained relationships over to harmonious relationships. Often getting irritated by others or learning how to empathize with others. Using manipulation to get your way or knowing how to work together. Being a doormat or learning how to be assertive. Okay, time management. You basically got life never flows smoothly for me versus things flow in the right direction. Never having enough time and having to rush important tasks versus enough margin in your day. Often feeling stress and pressure versus a sense of peace and calm. Regretting missing big opportunities due to a lack of organization versus making the most of the opportunities that come. Okay, mental life, confused versus clarity. Brain fog versus focused. Brain atrophy and decline versus the love of learning. I'm feeling dull versus being sharp. Okay, excellent. So that's all your results. Now we're going to move on to your desire. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you to have the results of your choice and destiny versus that of capriciousness? As we go through the next slides, record how excited you are for controlling the outcome of that area of your life. Now we're going to look at two aspects, one in the negative and one in the positive, but all I want you to do is put an overall ranking for your total level of motivation. So 10 out of 10, again, would be really excited to have the great results in that area. 0 would be you don't really care. So first thing, physically, how motivated are you not to end up like that guy in this you see in the picture, right? And then on conversely, how excited would you be to end up like that person or looking like that? Give yourself a ranking for motivation in your physical area of how excited you are for the area now. Okay, emotional. How excited are you not to feel like this? And how excited would you be to feel like this on a regular basis at will? Okay, career. So we got like, how important is it for you not to be in a career that does that to you? And on the flip side, how would it be if you could be in a career on a consistent basis that will produce these kind of emotions in you? Okay, finances. How important is it for you to not be in this position? And then how excited would you be if you create a life of financial freedom like that? Where would your ranking be? All right, relationships. How important is it for you not to end up in strained relationships like these? And how great would it be to be in awesome relationships like these? Time management. How important is it for you not to end up like the sloth there and get all your stuff taken away? And how great would it be to know that you've got everything in life sorted like that on a regular basis? Okay, mental. How important is it for you not to end up like Homer there and go into brain mush? And how excited are you to have this kind of impact mentally, to know you could be learning and growing and be vibrant on a regular basis? All right, so what we're going to look at now is basically we're shifting gears. I'm going to go into what you're doing, your behavior currently, and we're going to find out why you're getting the results you're getting. So again, on the scale, negative, would you look at other people's bodies and wish, or do you, on a positive, create a plan? Do you depend on your parents, government, others to make your life what you need to survive by, or do you believe that you're solely responsible for your body? Do you eat poorly or do you eat well? Do you run your body into the ground on a regular basis and don't look after it, or are you gentle with your body when you need to be? Give yourself a ranking there.
Do I have to do each one of these?
Yeah, so I'm going to talk them through. I've just gone physical. So now we're on to the next section. So we're on to your behavior in that third category. So I just want you to go back up to physical and just put down out of 10 what you're doing, what you're sowing in your life at the moment. So 10 out of 10 if you're doing all those things consistently, and 0 out of 10 if you're doing all the things on the left consistently. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So yeah. Emotional. Do you spend more time dwelling on negative thoughts or empowering thoughts? Do you consistently believe the worst in yourself, or do you consistently pull out the best beliefs about yourself? Do you consistently dwell on a poor self-image, or do you have a great self-image? Are you consistently angry, or are you consistently deciding to be excited about your life? Okay, career. Do you never spend time cultivating self-awareness? Do you just go through the motions and just try and do what you need to do career because you've always done it? Or do you spend time in self-reflection, find out what you're good at? Do you react in the moment in your career, or do you actually plan your day? Do you have a lack of clarity with what you want to do, or you visualize your end in mind specifically? Do you let things pile up, or do you prioritize? Give yourself a ranking out of for your career, what you're doing in your life. Okay, so financial. Do you drift, or do you set goals financially? Do you spend everything weekly, or do you create a plan? Do you overspend, or do you spend within your means? Do you mess up liabilities for you that take from your life, or do you actually accrue and create assets? Write down where you are with your finances. Okay, relationships. Do you spend time complaining, or do you spend more time complimenting? Are you passive aggressive, or do you know how to be assertive with others? Do you go for win-lose relationships, or do you seek win-win relationships? Do you assume you know what someone means, or do you actually try to understand them first? All right, time management. Do you spend more time in disorganization or being organized? Are you coasting through life, or are you learning? Are you stagnant, or are you growing? Are you making it up as you go, or are you planning? All right, school. Well, school's probably not relevant for you, so we'll go to mental. Are you dwelling on things that are depressed thoughts, or are you positive? Are you confused? Have you got brain fog, or are you clear? Have you got fuzzy thinking, or are you focused? Are you apathetic, or are you able? Do you basically spend more time on brain junk, things from the media to fill up what you learn about the world? Or do you proactively seek out and study the things that you want to fill your mind and become sharpened? Do you proactively activate things that will sharpen your mind, or you just let your brain atrophy? So put a ranking there for what you do on a consistent basis. Okay, so this would be an example of the summary of your results, desire, and behavior. So now you're going to fill me in on what you have in each category and how that looks. So take me through what you got there.
So for physical, for results, I got a 7 out of 10. For emotional, I got 5 out of 10. For career, I got 6 out of 10. For finances, I got 8 out of 10. For relationships, I got 7 out of 10. For time management and mental, it was 5 out of 10.
Wow. Okay. So maybe if you can take me through like a crossways, so you can go physical, results, desire, behavior for that whole category, and then just
Okay, okay.
thanks.
So the results were 7 out of 10, and my desire was 9 out of 10, and then the behavior was 6 out of 10.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And then for emotional, it was 5, 10, and 7.
Yep.
For career, it was 6, 10, and 8.
Yep.
For finances, it was 8, 10, and 5.
Yep.
Relationships, 7, 10, and 9.
Yep.
Time management, 5, 10, and 7.
Yep.
And then mental, 5, 10, and 6.
Okay. Wow. So I'm just going to have a wee look here. So we've got, I can see you're really strong in the desire category. Apart from physical, which you've got some of the most mastery over, that makes sense. So in terms of your behavior, we can see that you're putting in a lot of work in relationships, but you're actually only getting a 7 as a result. So can you see how it mostly works in life? You generally put more in. If you do a good job, you get a poor result. If you put in great effort, you get a good result. If you put in excellent effort, you get a great result. If you put in outstanding effort, you get an excellent result. If you put in all the effort, you get all the results, right? That's the way it works. Think of the law of the harvest, right? You sow 100 seeds, you might only get like 50 that sprout. And of that 50 that sprout, maybe 30% produce fruit. And of that 30 produce fruit, maybe only 5% make it to actually for you picking it before the bugs, the beetles, and the birds get them, right? So it's true with our life. What we sow, we don't directly reap, right? So you got to sow plentifully to reap plentifully. What did you notice as you look through your results, desire, and behavior? What pattern are you noticing there?
I feel like I have a strong desire, but there's just like so much going on, like trying to balance college and life, and at the same time like be have like education and sports balance, and my relationship at the same time. It's a lot.
Well, 100%, man. 100%. That's very interesting. The great thing with Ignite is that it's all about prioritizing. So one of the worst things people fall into the trap is they try, everything becomes a jumble in their mind because they've got so many things they want to do, right? And then they feel overwhelmed. Have you ever felt like that, where it's like, there's so much going on, it's like, I can't, life's too hard.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. It's an easy trap to fall into. The good thing with Ignite is we help you prioritize your thinking so you know exactly what is the most important things in your life, the top 3 things. And then we're going to teach you how to prioritize them. And then we'll work out a plan of how you're going to get the results you want. So if you were to look at all of that, what would you say would be the order of the things that you would, I know your motivation's high in all of them, but if you were to prioritize, right, and that's fine, that's great, that's a healthy sign. But if you were to prioritize, you know, the top 3 things that would be like, wow, those are the things that you know you want to actually put first, what would they be?
It would be career, relationship, and mental.
Wow. And tell me why you've chosen those.
Career, it would be because I'm really working really hard just to get my degree right now. And a way that I'm working really hard is by running. And I've been running for like 8 years, I think. So it's been a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
And then for relationship, well, I really want to get married with Vanessa as soon as I
Awesome.
graduate.
Wow.
So that's my
Congratulations, man. That's so
that's my
amazing.
goal. And then mental, I just want to be mentally strong for whatever relationship I have with her in the future or with anyone.
That's awesome, bro. Like those things are just amazing. And how would you feel if you could, over a period of months, take yourself, like if you look at your career, you're getting an 8 results, what would it feel like to be at a 10 results in your career if you could get there sustainably in a couple of months' time?
It would be amazing.
And how would it feel in your relationships if you could take it up a level?
That would be great.
And what would it mean mentally if you could feel great and you could hack it? You could go pretty much from a 6 up to an 8. What would that be like for you? What would it feel like?
I feel like that'll be a game changer as well.
Wow.
Definitely.
Well, that's exciting, man. Well, let me showcase for you what we've got on offer for you, just to know what we could be getting into. So I'll show you like a couple of the courses, and these ones are game changers for me when I did them, and also game changers for I don't know if Vanessa's told you about the current course she's on. Has she been talking about that?
About the what?
The current course that she's doing. She's doing the career one at the moment. I don't know if she's talked to you about it yet.
No, I don't think so.
That's fine. She's doing that. Antonio and Violet's been through it. They've just completed it. They're absolutely buzzing about it because I did the finance one with them first to get them where they needed to be. And that was a game changer for them because they learned how to be financially independent, and then they could go and tackle this. Financially for you, are you finding you're in a good position? Like you've got things pretty well sorted there?
Oh, yeah. Well, since last year, I haven't paid a single dollar for college because my cross country scholarship has been paying everything.
Wow.
And then in the summer, last year I worked with a landscape company, and then this summer I actually started my own business. And then I'll do cement jobs and landscaping, and that went really well. I had the chance to actually invest in my own tools and just be completely independent and just run the company with my younger brother.
Amazing, dude. That's so fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me explain a bit of the career course, and we'll just see if that's going to be a good fit for you. So this is all about finding your unique spot for you to serve in the world that would bring you alive. So we look at industry. We look at the top 3 industries you're involved in this session. Then we do a whole exploration of your internal giftings. We look at who you are as a person, maybe giftings you've buried since you're a kid, the gifts you can hone up on, and what brings you alive from your gifting. We find out your top giftings in order. Then we unpack your personality, and we really look at how you're wired up with your work values. You know, what environment's best for you to thrive long term. Now, these are about finding the things in you that go with you throughout your life, you know, so you don't have to chop and change. You don't have to get through a midlife crisis and go, I hate my job, I hate my career. These are just about finding the things that are going to be with you for life so you can make those decisions. You know, I've been doing this now for 20 years. And so it's like, this is in my life. It's not going to change. And I'm so glad I learned those principles when I did. Then basically we got one on verbs. And this one focuses on your top 3 things that if you were to do them, it's a game changer for you. Every day would add juice to your life. So Ignite's mission is create, educate, inspire. Though that was coined like 20 years ago, that's still with me today. Those 3 things profoundly shape my life. You know, I want to create an environment for myself and others to excel. I want to educate people with life transforming insights, and I want to help people to find and follow their passion. Those 3 things haven't left me in 20 years. Right? So we're going to find out what yours are that will stick with you for life. So it's like the elixir of life. You can tap into it at any day that you need, and it's going to bring you juice in life. Then we explore your heart, like what do you specifically have a heart for, who, which people group. Then we look at your cause. What's the thing that you would be willing to give your life to, the thing that gets you out of bed in the morning. Then we do a really unique session called Nexus, where we literally tie all those things together into one sweet spot for you. And then we look at all the potential career paths you can have within that, right? And then we create your mission statement. So based out of all of that, you're going to have your mission statement. Then you're not just going to have 1 or 2 options. You're going to have about 20 options, but you're not going to just have bad and a good option. Imagine having good, great, outstanding options and delicious all in that category. How would that feel?
That'd be pretty cool, but hard to choose.
And then we move on and we do a vision. And I'll show you specifically how to. So I'm living the life I live now that I wrote down 15 years ago. I'm literally living the life because I created it in my mind all those years ago, and it keeps updating and shifting into a better vision. But what I'm saying, if I had ever written on paper, I'd never be living out what I'm living now. But I get to live in the delicious category every day because I created the vision. So I'm going to teach you step by step how to create the vision to make this all come true. And then finally, we don't leave you there. I teach you a specific tool that is a game changer for people. It's called the TRG plan, that Target Reason Guide. Instead of just telling you a to-do list, it's going to help you identify your own target, come up with all your own reasons, and then I'm going to show you how to create a guide. And the great thing about this tool, it's not just for this one area. You can create this for any area of your life, and I can show you the blueprint of how to get what you want. And so that's a powerful tool. And Antonio loves going through that one. So yeah, that's the career one. What do you think about that so far?
It's really interesting.
So yeah, what's that?
It's really organized, and I'm like really looking forward to discover every little thing.
Wow, awesome, man. I think you're going to benefit so much from that one. And then ultimately, when we look at the relationship one, just so you know what potentially could be coming up, I'll show you this kind of relationship one. Let me just open this file up. Here we go. There we go. I'm just going to share my screen now. Just let me know if you can see the screen now.
Yeah.
Awesome. So here we do something pretty powerful. We're going to, for your relationship, it's actually all about relationships, are all about understanding yourself before you understand your partner, right? A lot of people try and attack relationships like, let's just work on the outside things like communication, all that. I mean, that's all great. But if you don't get the fundamental building blocks right, then you can't really have a long-standing relationship. So Ignite relationships, and even this goes into your mental game as well, is exploring the terrain of your subconscious, understanding your values subconsciously, knowing how you can prioritize them, knowing the master system, knowing what you're moving towards, knowing what you're moving away from, knowing how to knowing your belief system, knowing the references you have in your life, knowing the lens through which you see, and knowing the identity you have subconsciously, and knowing the 6 core human needs. Once you understand that and you understand how your partner prioritizes, you can communicate at a whole new level. And this is just what I worked with Violet, and recently she was running away from things in her past that were sabotaging her relationship in the present. And literally through step by step, we helped her tease that out, and she figured out exactly what was going on. So if you and Vanessa end up, carrying on together in a relationship, this is just going to be a game changer, because instead of you just working on the surface of things, reacting to problems and then trying to patch up with roses and a card and saying, I'm sorry, babe, or whatever, you're going to actually know why she's doing it, why you're doing what you're doing, and then how you can actually fuse from the inside out rather than just going from the outside in. If that makes sense. So what do you think of that course?
It seems even more interesting too. They all.
Well, I mean, that one definitely is a game changer. It's like you just have to talk to Antonio and Violet of how much it's been a game changer for them so far. So anyway, so how it works is I usually aim for like a session a week, because I want to give the client enough time to process the information and then apply an action step during the week. So it's usually action reflection. So the way Ignite works is that when we do a whole session, you do a whole lot of learning in it. It's a lot of fun, really stimulating. Then you go away and you practice the thing that you learned, and you come back buzzing the next week to get the next insight. And then we refresh on what you learned during that week, and it's exponential growth and a spiral upwards. That's kind of how it works. So if we were to break that through career, relationship, mental, what would it be like if we started with career for you?
What do you mean?
Oh, so you're saying career is the first one. Does the career course seem like the best fit for you?
Like the career I'm going for right now?
Oh yeah, the career course. So understanding that career course first, like when you look at that relationship one or the career course, what one seems to be the best fit at the moment?
I think relationship.
Okay. So why did you when you saw the relationship one, why did that stand out more?
I don't know. I just I know we can communicate the way you said, like more like externally and like with words, but being able to communicate like on a whole different level would be pretty amazing.
Okay, wow. So you want to go straight for that, because it's going to be interesting, because Vanessa I haven't even done that course with her yet. So you're going to get rid of her. But that's good, because that's understanding yourself. This is going to naturally have profound impact on your career anyway. So it's going to add to that. So it's not a bad choice. If we do go down the relationship route, we can definitely get into that. So the first session, I just give you a bit of insight. I mean, this will blow your mind, but I'm going to teach you kind of like what it looks like, just so you can get an insight as to how this works. So here we've got the micro level. This is a game changer. So most people only operate on this line here represents the dividing line between the conscious and the subconscious. Most people here just try and work on these things. They're either trying to work against unintended consequences, like let's say you lost the race, someone else got the trophy, and then you're trying to explain why you lost, you're working against the unintended consequences.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen people in that zone?
Yeah, definitely. Someone like T.
And then other people hack on the results. So maybe they go and try and steal the trophy, or they try and, directly hack the results. Maybe they steal money. Maybe they lie about it. They're working at that level. Or they work on the actions. So they go, man, I'm going to train harder. I'm going to train better. I'm going to train smarter. And then every level you go down, you get to more of a level of the core of the issue and more power. And then we look at emotions, and then we look at thoughts, what stimulate emotions back and forth. This is such a powerful model because most people only operate from that up, but the deeper you go down, the more profound effect. Have you found that in the past? When you just focus on that, it's more temporary. But when you learn how to focus on your thoughts, you get results, right?
Yeah.
Well, imagine if I could teach you a whole terrain that actually literally dictates these automatically. So you don't even have to work at trying to think well or feel well. You automatically do. How would that be?
That'd be so much better. You're not even nervous to like have a good mentality. You just
Exactly. And how would it be is the next time, I'm not saying Vanessa freaks out a lot because I don't know a relationship, but I'm talking about typical ones. How about the next time she has a meltdown and she freaks out or she gets angry or upset about something, instead of you reacting on the surface and going, I better do something right for her, I'm feeling bad. Imagine if you knew and you could relax and you knew that it was being driven by one of these things deeper down here. How would that feel?
That would be a game changer.
Yeah. So imagine having the confidence next time you're in a heated debate and you could just take a step back and go, I don't even have to win this conversation. I just have to understand where she's coming from. And I have to understand why I'm getting upset. Imagine being able to pull away and then having a whole new control panel. You just press a few buttons and then voila, you're in a whole new zone of communication. So that's what this course offers. And so just explaining you pretty much how it works. We start with, I'm going to show you in the first session the whole thing, how the whole thing works together, and you're going to find out the map of the mind, the map of the subconscious, the map of the individual. And then once we do that, we're going to break into what your specific values are subconsciously, where your thoughts come from. And I'm going to teach you how to discover your partners as well, what you're moving away from, what you're moving towards for. And even that, by the second session, will be a game changer for you. So how excited are you on a scale of 1 to 10 to get this information into your life?
A 10.
Okay, great. Well, let's talk schedule then. What is normally a good time? Is this normally a good time of the week and day for you to meet?
Yes, because Monday through Friday, I'm always busy. And then I have races every weekend. So
Sure, okay. So when would you like to do the first session? This time next week, or is it sometime during the week, or what's it looking like?
This time next week should be fine.
Great. Okay, cool. So this time next week, let me just schedule you in same time next week. Just put that into there. So just explaining a little bit of